Welcome, folks, to another episode of the podcast. Prices are too high. This is episode 45. So we got 45 episodes and so far. But welcome into another episode of the podcast. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about a possible increase with New York City Transit. What the hell is new? And why do most young adults live at home? And another topic we're going to discuss is the reality of living in America. The reality of living in America. I'm talking the full reality. The homelessness, the prices, transportation. I mean, every single thing, everything that's happening in today's society here in America. So welcome into the podcast. I know it's been a while since we had a podcast, and also we have a new intro. Yay, got a new intro to the podcast. But hello everybody, let me throw this in. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Welcome, folks. Welcome in, everybody, to the podcast. Welcome in. And if you guys enjoy this podcast, if you enjoy today's episode, please be sure to do these three things right here. And please feel free to share my podcast with anyone. If you know somebody that's going through, that's having any, that's struggling financially, and you know someone that they feel that's pretty much alone, feel free to share this podcast, because that's why we do these topics. That's the reason why I talk about these topics. I have these type of discussions because it's not really to scare you guys, and it's not to scare anybody. It's just to talk about the reality, and it's always good to have these talks. I like to be focused on the real issues. So that's the reason why I started this podcast over a year ago, is to talk about and be real focused on the issues that's happening in this country. I can't speak for other countries. I don't know. All I know is this country, the USA, and all the problems and everything that's happening here. So I'm more of being real and just focusing on the real issues. And I feel like this is like the perfect podcast to talk about. And yes, I do talk about a lot of issues. This podcast is about a lot of issues in today's world regarding money. Because let's just be honest, we can't do anything without money. We can't go nowhere without money. Like, money just gets in the way of everything. And then you're working 2 or 3 jobs just to make enough, just to be able to afford to live, in this country. It all depends on where you're at. If you're in the suburbs, if you're in somewhere where there's not too many people, it's not that much going on, then you're okay. But if you live in a big city like New York, Chicago, California, Miami, you're going to be struggling financially in those places, because it's not easy, and those places are pretty doggone expensive. So me, as a New Yorker, that's lived in New York City his whole entire life, almost 30 years lived in New York City, I could tell you I'd be able to tell you everything about New York City, but I could tell you in and everything, and a lot of the BS that goes on here in New York City, the good, the bad. I could pretty much tell you almost everything about New York City, the 5 boroughs, because I lived in it, I walked in it, traveled through it, went to parades, events, all this kinds of stuff. And I've seen a lot that has gone down in New York City. So I can't speak for other cities. I can only speak for New York City only. So that's kind of like my thing. But anyways, we're gonna get into these three topics here. So, like I said, we have a brand new intro. We got a new intro for the podcast. Let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on, folks. All right, here she is. New intro right here. Hold on, folks. There we go. I hope you guys enjoyed that brand new intro that I just dropped, everybody. But yeah, welcome into the podcast, everybody. Welcome to Prices Are Too High, everybody. Episode 45. I haven't done a new intro since last year. So that was the very last time, which was last summer. And I think for, what was it? Yeah, for the last 12 months, I've been playing the same intro, but we're going to keep changing up the intros. Probably every few months. Maybe in the new year, I'll do a new intro in January for when we go into for the first 2026 podcast. But welcome into the podcast, folks. Everybody, welcome in. Thank you all for joining. Your host, Christopher Dotson, as always, of this podcast and this channel. So let's get into. I came up with a really interesting topic to talk about. Let's start off with this, something simple and something easy. Why do most young adults still live at home? And I'm not saying live at home like I'm not saying they hometown or or where they're from or anything. That's not really what I'm talking about. I'm saying at home. You got some young adults, they ain't never left home. They still live at home with their mom and dad. And I mean, I am one of those people, but yeah, so I can speak from experience. I'm one of those young adults that's struggling. I mean, struggling to get his own place. It's a struggle because it's not easy. They don't make it easy anymore for people to want to be on their own. Like, they too busy. All they too busy is trying to do this, trying to make money. That's all that matters to the city. They're just trying to sit there and make money. Like, that's like the main focus. And instead of trying to put a roof over people's heads, they more focused on making money or what's gonna make them the most money. Now, the other day, I was in the Bronx. I was in Mott Haven. For anyone that's ever been to the Bronx, so I could say definitely Harlem and Mott Haven, those two areas. Well, Harlem has been going on for the last 10 years. We've been seeing a lot of fancy, brand new apartment buildings. And they taken a lot of those brownstones are like not there anymore. A lot of old buildings are not there anymore. I'm talking buildings that was built like in the 1920s and the 1930s, 40s. A lot of them aren't there no more because they're being replaced by luxury apartments or condos. And here's the thing, they're not really doing it for us. What I mean by for us is the black and brown people. If you go to a lot of black and brown communities, neighborhoods, you'll see that there's a lot of brownstones and that there's a lot of luxury apartments, condos. You didn't see a lot of that stuff in the old days. Growing up, I never saw no brownstone apartment or luxury apartment or fancy apartment. Even the old days, rent didn't even cost nowhere near $2,000. I'm not exactly sure how much rent really cost, but I know it was a lot less than that, and it was easier. Like, you go and you apply for an apartment, and you will wait to get called. It didn't used to take this long, but it takes super long. And then to remind you, we had the pandemic, so the pandemic really messed a lot of stuff up. It really screwed a lot of stuff up. So it is a lot harder. So, and I'm gonna say this though, like I'm almost in my 30s, and still left at home. And I'm gonna just say it's a really, really, really tough experience. Really, really tough. I mean, you know, living at home is not bad. It's not really bad. Some people are in worse situations, but like I've been wanting to get my own place for a while, and I feel like it's a real serious struggle. It's super hard. I've through experience, I've applied to two different. I've applied for two locations. There was a location up in the Bronx. I'm not gonna say where. There was a location in the Bronx. I applied for one. I submitted my documents for that location there. I haven't heard back, and this is through NYC Connect. I'm gonna say this about NYC Connect. Like, NYC Connect is so freaking terrible. They are terrible. Terrible housing systems, so freaking terrible. If you live in New York City, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. So, you barely hear from them, barely, because they're one of those type of housing systems you barely hear from them. I did an application for NYC Housing Connect about a year ago, and I ain't heard from them. So that's how that really is these days, applying for housing. That's how that is. I submitted my paperwork, haven't heard from them. My next step was to like get an interview from them. Yeah. I think I'm supposed to get like an appointment or interview. That's like the next step. I have yet to hear any next steps. And I keep applying for all these different locations. And you know what though? I kind of feel like I'm wasting my time, because it's like I kind of feel like I'm not getting anywhere. Yeah, I feel like I'm not getting anywhere with NYC Housing Connect. So if you don't know what NYC Housing Connect is basically a housing system. It's basically housing in New York City. So basically you actually have to apply for, if there's a particular location that you want to move to, you have to go online. You got to have an account. You got to register. If you don't have an account, you have to register. So you can only apply if you have an account through NYC Housing Connect. And I'm gonna just say this though, like it's so terrible. Like I don't at this point I don't have anything good to say about NYC Housing Connect. Like that's how frustrating it is. The last 2 years I've been applying for locations. I applied for a lot of locations in the Bronx. Some in Queens, Brooklyn not too much. Some parts in Brooklyn not too much. Manhattan maybe one or two, but I don't feel like continuing to live in Manhattan. But I've been applying for the last 3 years, and it's been super frustrating trying to find something. So, but like I said, I've applied for a location a year. Yeah, I finally heard back from them a year ago, and then I submitted the requirements of the documents that they asked me to submit, and I haven't heard anything back ever since. So I'm just pretty damn frustrated with NYC Housing Connect, but it just freaking sucks to me. It sucks. It is just so terrible. And there was another housing that I applied to, which is about 4 blocks away from my house. Yeah, about 4 or 5 blocks away from my house. The other one is called VPH Housing. So I did like hear back from them, but then I kind of got like rejected because I don't make enough. So here's the thing. You know, sometimes that will happen too. Also, if you don't make enough, you won't get that location. You won't qualify for that location. So it's a pretty tough road. It really is a tough road, and that's why a lot of young adults are still living at home. I mean, can you honestly blame them? No, it's hard. And then you got some young adults. Um, they moving back in with their parents or their families because they can't afford the rent because it's so damn high. So, who can afford the rent these days? And and to tell you the truth, like if you don't like the location where you live, is you as far as like if you're trying to find something else, it's going to take you a while. It's going to take you a couple of years just for you to find something else. Now, a friend of mine, I'm really happy for my friend of mine. He had recently moved from Washington Heights to Brooklyn, so and I was really happy for him because pretty much one of his grandparents took care of him, so she kind of like knew somebody, and she was able to really hook him up. So I'm really happy for him. So, and I also visit his. You guys were with me during one of my live streams, because I also did a live stream in his new neighborhood in Brooklyn. So yeah, in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, and I really like it. It's pretty nice, and it's pretty much a Chinatown because there's definitely a lot of different Asian culture businesses there. So, and it was really nice. So that was my very first time going out to Bensonhurst, was to go and visit him for the day. So, because I never been down there, I never been to that neighborhood. That's like another part of New York City I ain't never been to. There are some parts in New York City that I honestly never been to. Like, for example, I'm gonna definitely say I've been to Brighton Beach. I never been to Sheep's Head Bay. That's like another neighborhood I never been to. I've been to a lot of different neighborhoods, but there are some neighborhoods that I never been to. Another neighborhood I never been to was the Queens Village. That's like another neighborhood I never been to. And Bayside is another one as well, and Rosedale. Couple of neighborhoods I've never been to yet, but I would like to go out there and check them out and do a video of some neighborhoods one day, if that's possibly. But yeah, it's just tough, and it's pretty. I mean, I know I'm not the only one. Pretty much most of my friends, pretty much still live at home, and including me as well. So, well, except for that one friend that I was just telling you guys about. So he's just getting his own place. He just got it. He's like 2 years away from his 30s, but that's one thing that I'm happy to see him accomplish. I was pretty shocked, so I was happy for him when I heard the news that he got his own place in Brooklyn. So that's great. So that's really awesome. And plus, he's like 10 minutes away from Coney Island. 10-15 minutes away from Coney Island. So that's not bad. So I mean, if I was in his neighborhood, I could probably just. Yeah, if I was in his neighborhood, like if I want to go to the hot dog eating contest or the mermaid parade, all I gotta do is just get on the train out there. Just take it 3 or 4 stops down. I'm there. I don't have to spend a long time on the train, which is really great because the trains on the weekends, they are so horrible on the weekends. So damn horrible. Alright, now speaking of the trains, MTA, $3 for the new fare. $3 stinking dollars for the new fare. What the hell is up with that? Why are they trying to go up to $3 still? Now, this is August, so this month is pretty much gone. So, well, I'm doing this video on August 13th, so which is 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago of 2 weeks ago of the next podcast. So So this month is pretty much gone, August. So we were supposed to get there was supposed to be another fare increase to $3. Like, what's new? Like this, and I was also talking about this in my live stream when I was in City Island. Like, they can't even get the damn trains and buses to function right. Why the hell are they trying to go up again? Like, I don't get it. I knew that stupid price and congestion BS wasn't going to be enough. Oh, the price and congestion is going to help pay. It's going to help pay for projects. It's going to help pay for this and that. It's been more than 6 months. Ain't seen nothing. Ain't see anything. Y'all can't even get the buses to run on time, and y'all trying to go up to $3 in the beginning of 2026 in January? Are y'all serious right now? I'm like, these people are full of shit. They're freaking full of it, because they, like I said, they can't get the buses to run on time. It is so slow. So damn slow, especially on a hot day. Sometimes on a hot day you gotta wait. Sometimes you gotta wait about 15, 16 minutes for a freaking bus. It's ridiculous. They go up every 2 or 3 years. I don't even understand that. I don't at all. I know the PATH train now went up to $3, but it's been a while. So honestly, I don't think I could really bash the PATH train. The only time the PATH train is bad is like on the weekends, because of the track work too. It's the same thing, but during the week it's not bad. Taking the PATH train is really not too bad at all. So that's one thing I could say compared to our trains and buses here. Sometimes on the weekdays they be on full schedule and they still be acting up. Like, I don't get it. I really don't. Like, sometimes if you go to the outer boroughs, there's times where I've taken a train to the outer boroughs, like Queens, the Bronx, and I still ran into track work. Still ran into effing track work. It wasn't. I was not in Manhattan, but in the Bronx. But in the Bronx, 90% of the time, the midday track work takes place in the Bronx or in Queens that I know of. Like, I honestly don't get it. Now, when I went to go do my video out in Staten Island on the weekend, I picked a Saturday, so I was like, I'm gonna just go on Saturday, cause I'm gonna go on Saturday. So I went on a Saturday. The Staten Island train wasn't even working right. They got the damn shit running in 2 sections, and you gotta deal with a shuttle bus. So I'm surprised it took me no damn near 2 hours to get to the end of Staten Island, cause that's where I plan to do my YouTube. That's where I plan to do my video at. And by the way, you guys, check out my Staten Island video. I just released it yesterday, so feel free to check out my video of Staten Island. Like I said, I'm gonna come out with 2 more videos of Staten Island. I'm planning to do more walks and tours around Staten Island. I'm planning to record some more neighborhoods, get some more Staten Island content out, and I plan to do a live stream, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. There will be some live streams of Staten Island. I've been lacking of that. I always live stream Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, but no one ever really wants to go out to Staten Island. I don't get it. That's just personally me. I don't understand it, because and plus the Staten Island is free boat ride. It's free. It's freaking free, in my opinion. I don't get it. You can go to Staten Island for free. Simple as that. Just a 25-minute boat ride away from Lower Manhattan. And then you got the Staten Island train. I understand the train takes longer than the other trains in New York City, but if you take the train, you'll get down Staten Island quicker, in my opinion. But anyway, let's get back to the MTA. Because one time I heard there was a blackout at West 4th Street 2 days in a row. Some of my notes, sorry. 2 days in a row, there was a blackout at West 4th Street lost power. Probably could have been the hot heat and everything. So this and the subways are so much hotter in the doggone summer. This is also my thing. How about just how about looking into adding air conditioning in the subway so that way it don't be so freaking hot? So just standing and waiting on the doggone train. It will honestly make a lot more sense. Like sometimes when I go to, if you go to Grand Central Station on the 4, 5, and 6 train, sometimes there'll be AC there. That's what I know. That's like the only station that I notice that actually has AC in the subway station at Grand Central Station on the 4, 5, and 6 platform. If you go besides that, you go to any other train station, no AC, nothing. And then that's the thing. And then sometimes, like if you're in a hurry, sometimes the trains are not even in a hurry, especially during rush hours. Sometimes, if you notice during PM rush hours, the trains be acting super. That's when the trains are like the slowest, is during rush hour. And that's when the trains are supposed to be more quicker. They're supposed to get people home more quicker, and it doesn't. It just moves slower. I don't get it. So, but y'all trying to go up to $3? Like, that, it makes no sense at all. Y'all just trying to make the prices higher and higher and higher, but y'all don't want to improve the freaking service, but you want people to pay more money. Like, I don't understand it at all. I don't understand how the hell MTA operates. Like, I feel like the people that's running MTA is so mismanaged, because sometimes I wonder too, this, like, where the hell is our money even going to? We pay more money, but still we don't even get the proper service that we're supposed to get. Paying all this doggone money, but we don't get the proper service that we're supposed to freaking get. I don't even understand it. Like, make it make sense, MTA. Make that part make effing sense. Honestly, it doesn't make sense to me. Why they even trying to go up? Y'all went up what was it, 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago you just went up. And they was planning to go up again this year. And guess what? It backfired. But you know what, though? We'll see what happens in January. We'll see what happens in January. If they actually do go up in January, I'll definitely do an update on that. So I'll definitely do an update, and I'll definitely do a full discussion on that in January if it does. I hope it backfires, just like this month, because something must have backfired, and then they changed their mind about going up on the fare and this month. So we'll pretty much see what happens. We'll pretty much see. And then I don't normally take New Jersey Transit, but New Jersey Transit ain't no better either. They're not no better, because I'm gonna tell you, because I was trying to get on New Jersey Transit train to New Jersey, and it's like tickets are like $17 each way. Like, it's freaking ridiculous. I don't understand it at all. So, and I would like to go out to Long Island more often, but Connecticut, upstate New York, but train tickets are so damn expensive. It's like the further you go, the more you have to pay. But I do plan to go to Connecticut at the end of the month. It might cost me about $30 just to go to where the hell I'm going to, but it is what it is. I mean, what can you do? I would like to do more Long Island streams, but we'll see. I probably will have to save my money for that, because now things are just getting a lot more higher. And then also with the tariffs is not making any better either. Like, freaking swear, man. But let's switch on to the next subject. But we'll definitely talk about this increase to $3 again in January. So we'll see what happens on January 4th if it goes through. Most likely, if something does change, then we'll hear about it before January, just like we heard about it before August. So if they do change their mind for January, we'll most likely hear about it before um, January. So right now, we're pretty much on the okay side. Right now, the fare is still $2.90 as of right now, so it's not $3 yet. So don't worry, folks. Don't stress yourself out. So let's go to this next and final topic: the reality of living in America. The reality of living in America. Let me put this here. Hold on, folks. Sorry. There we go. Okay, got this here. Put my shirt back so you guys can hear me. Yeah, so the reality of living in America. Wait, let me fix this. I'm trying to fix my mic, folks. Just hang tight. Actually, I could take this magnet. I don't know why I'm doing this. I can just do it like this. Alright, I'm just trying to fix my mic so you guys can hear me a bit better. Might just button my shirt. Alright, here we go. Alright. I like this DJI mini mic. It's really nice. It's super helpful. Like, biggest mistake I made, because I put this on my strap on my bag, and I was not paying attention, and then that's how I lost the mic. So, but yeah, so I'm trying to be more careful and more cautious. The only time I'll use my mic during the live stream or videos, unless I really need to, and it's like too much noise happening. But yeah, let's get to this last and final topic: the reality of living in America. They say, "Oh, come to America. You'll have a much better life. You'll have more opportunities. You'll have a better future. You come here, you get shitted on." This is just the reality of living in America. You come to America, you get shitted on. Now, we see a whole population here in New York City. We see more homeless people than ever. Homeless people on the subways, the streets, the buses. Sometimes you'll see it underneath a bridge, in the park. You name it. Sometimes on the street. Yeah, I just said the street. The street. Sometimes on the bridge, all over the doggone place. Sometimes at the beach, by the pools, you name it. This is the reality of homelessness. And who's helping them? Who's helping them? You know, a lot of time they begging you and asking you for money. Oh, can you spare $1? Can you spare this? Can you help me out? Like earlier, I went to go and get lunch. There was a guy. He was like, "Oh, can you help me?" I was like, "No, too much. And you know what though? You can't help everybody. As much as you love to help everybody, you can't help everybody at all. You definitely can't. Because, you got some people, they don't want to help themselves. They're just looking for somebody to hand them something, and then you have those type of people, they looking for something for nothing. They want somebody to hand them something. You got people out here robbing and stealing because they don't want to work for what they want. They definitely don't want to work for what the hell they want at all. And it's just sad. But this is the reality of living in America. And now, the last couple of years, there's been issues with immigration. Now, here's the funny twist right here. Here's the funny twist. This is something that my job coach had told me. My supporter had told me. So she was telling me one time that like to apply for citizenship is very, very expensive. And she was telling me that her husband's not even from here. So And it costs thousands. It costs thousands of freaking dollars to have a green card or have any kind of citizenship. And if something goes wrong, you got to come out of pocket. You got to be the one to come out of pocket. So I'm just sharing something that somebody had told me, and this is something that I had learned. It's a money making thing. This is why you got so many people living here, and they're not even a citizen. You know, they're not even a legal citizen. So a lot of the immigrants, they just coming here and they just living here. Period. So, and they're not applying for no type of citizenship or anything. It's a money making thing. Everything is a money making thing. Go to the movies, go out to eat. Now let's also talk about, I feel like food should be free. Food should be free. You should not have to pay an arm and a leg for food. It's ridiculous. And you guys see for anyone that has seen my live streams of these night markets, especially the Uptown Night Market, the one in Harlem, West Harlem. Y'all charging almost $30 for food? Are y'all serious? Because if this is y'all way of trying to bring the locals in, you lost the locals big time. Y'all effed that up, trying to attract locals. Attract people that's been, especially people that's been living here for years. Y'all lost me. Y'all lost me because I'm a damn local. Because I mean, I've probably paid. I might pay for like one or two drinks, not alcohol, like a juice or something. I only bought like one or two things out the night market. I was telling you guys about that small juice, that little juice I bought from the Uptown Night Market, because I was hot and thirsty and I needed something, and there was nowhere else to go to. And the nearest store is about a good 5-6 blocks away, long blocks away. I'm talking like when you go all the way to 12th Avenue and 125th Street, everything else is like 5 blocks. Everything else is pretty much almost towards Broadway. Pretty much. That's how far you have to go. Even McDonald's. Except for Dinosaur Barbecue. That's like the only spot that I know of. That's like nearby. But, I mean, but they're gonna charge you an arm and a leg for some juice or something. But yeah, spend $13 on a medium-sized cup. That was ridiculous. But my argument is this: I feel like food should be free. This is why we have a lot of pantries around. A lot of pantries, because who can afford to go to the grocery store and get something to eat? Now, and we have a damn president that's trying to take away everybody's rights. He's trying to take away a lot of shit. Folks, pay attention to what goes on. I know y'all don't like to get into politics or anything, but pay attention. But sometimes, every once in a while, it's always good to just cut on the news just to see what's going on in today's reality. I do watch the news. I only watch it like once a day. Once or twice a day. And that's basically just to see what's 90% of the time is just to see like what's going on with the weather, because I work outdoors. So I just want to see, like, this is summertime, so if it's going to be over 90 degrees, I need to know what to expect. Or if it's going to be only 80 degrees or 72, just knowing to what to expect. That's all. I'm trying to catch my voice, folks. My throat is starting to hurt it's probably from all this talking that I'm doing. All right, got myself some water, so we should be good to go. But yeah, I feel like food should be free. Like, food should not be expensive, because this is why you got so many hungry people on the streets. So many hungry people on the streets, because y'all want all the restaurants and grocery stores, y'all want to jack up the prices on food. I don't understand it. But yeah, it's always good to pay attention to what's going on and to today's reality. I would say just call on the news, just to pay attention to to see what's going on in today's reality, because we all got to be aware of our surroundings. We all got to know what's going on. Now, there's a lot of people who, so I know there's a lot of people that use the SNAP benefits, so the foods, those are the food stamps, the SNAPs. I tried applying for it, like I think it was maybe last year or a year ago, and fortunately it didn't work out. So what can you do? But a lot of people that rely and use food snaps, or yeah, that reuse the food snaps, they pretty much cutting the food snaps. They cutting back on the food snaps, so people are not going to get as much money for food anymore. So, welcome to America. This is the reality of living in America. This is the freaking reality of living in America. And it's like they could pretty much just take away your rights, and you can't do anything about it. And another thing too, you busting your ass you're busting your ass at 2 or 3 jobs. Your boss yelling at you, your supervisor putting pressure on you and shit. And you got certain jobs where you're working outdoors, 95, 96 degrees, 98 degrees outside. But I'm gonna tell you guys this, my job, they make us work when it's even when it's above 90 degrees. We still have to work a full day. And my supervisor, one of my supervisors was saying that, you know, I was in a meeting, and you know, she was saying that, you know, in these about the hot temperatures, you know, she's kind of wish she had the authority to send us home, you know, when it's hot like this, but she doesn't have it. So that says a lot. There's no management. There's no effing management for when it's hot. There's no freaking management for when it's super hot outside. One time it was 100 degrees outside, still had to come to work full day. This is the reality of living in America. You got some jobs, they make you work in the hot ass heat, and you can't say or do anything about it. And if you work for a non-profit or any private companies and you don't have a union to back you up, you're screwed. You pretty much just have to keep your mouth shut in order to keep your job. But that's just the reality. This is the reality of living in America. It's sad, but it's true. You commuting to work, if you drive to work, you gotta take like 1 or 2 tolls to work. If you're coming from Jersey, you work, like say for instance you work in the congestion zone. You gotta be to work. Your job is at 34th Street, so, and you live all the way in, I'm gonna say Linden, New Jersey, or you live all the way in Atlantic City. That's gonna take you a minute to get to where you need to get to. You're gonna be paying 2 or 3 tolls every single day, including that price and congestion. Including that price and congestion BS every single day. Because now MTA wants to take more money from people. But as one of my viewers say, MTA stands for Money Taking Agency. That's because that's what they're pretty much known for. Money Taking Agency. There you go. They love to take your money, but they never want to make transportation better for the people that actually do. And you know what? Matter of fact, though, I never hear a thank you. I never see them give credit to to those that actually do pay their dollar bills. To those that actually do pay, because I see more of them complaining about and targeting people that are not paying than appreciating people that actually do pay. Because I really would like to see them show some appreciation to the people that actually do pay the fare. I'm gonna just be honest right there. It's that pricing congestion is a money grub. Honestly, I haven't seen any difference in the traffic downtown because every time I go down there, it's because whenever they do a parade downtown, that's when traffic really gets backed up. That's when traffic really gets effed up. I haven't been to any parades downtown since the Puerto Rican Day Parade in Manhattan. I went to both parades in Manhattan and in the Bronx, so both. But yeah, so I went to both parades there. I went to the Bronx Dominican Day Parade. I prefer the one in the Bronx because I wasn't even messing with the National Dominican Day Parade. I went last year, but I didn't feel like going this year to the one in Manhattan. So I was like, I'm gonna just check out the one in the Bronx and see what it's about. It was pretty good though. It was a pretty good parade. You can get a nice. You was able to get a nice view and everything, so that was good.